Alright, welcome everybody! Oh, my camera is a little bit off center, just to check. There we go. Yeah. Hello everybody, welcome by my How to Write Retellings! Or retellings and how to write them from my point of view. This is something that I like to do in the site of NaNoWriMo, because sometimes writing and retelling can be difficult or easy and difficult at the same time. So we can all use some tips and tricks and all whatnot to work that fields. I am going, however, see that I accidentally clicked some links away, so that is something I shouldn't have done that. But we all make mistakes. Now and then. Alright, there we are. Let's set it up. Also, this little thing is going to be posted on Facebook, of course, right, also on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitch itself. So if you if you are not here, or if you are not able to make it, or you need to run away because life's happening, you always are able to watch it back. Alright, let's start it off by retellings and how to write them. Alright, this is going to be a little bit difficult, so we are going to take that away for a second. Alright, table of content. What are retellings? What do you need to keep in mind? Resources, things you can follow, my own experience, a little exercise, questions. What are retellings? In my humble opinion, retellings are fan fiction that you can sell. Retellings are recreations of an already existing myth, fairy tale, or story. Most retellings are stories that are put in a new light, new genre, told from another POV than a normal protagonist, or change it up a little bit. In the Song of Achilles, I am getting a chef's kiss of an ancient Greek myth. It is told from the point of view of Proliticus. If I pronounce that incorrectly, my apologies. And let we go with the famous retellings of almost every Disney movie. They are almost all retellings. Alright. Let's go off. What do you need to keep in mind? Free of use / copyright. If it is copyrighted or not in the public domain, you are not able to use it unless you want a very large crowd after you saying that you have something of plagiarism, or some studio who wants to sue you, that kind of thing. For example, Peter Pan is linked to the Great Ormond Street Hospital charity, and if you want to write something about Peter Pan or from Peter Pan, you should ask permission from that organization before using it. Um, but yeah, that is it is our job to check it first. There are some website. Google is a very good website to check that. And I have been lucky to have link to the public domain in review um website. It is a handy tool. I have not used it right now, but um, until now, I really am going to dive in it a little bit more. But it is a handy start of you. If you're watching on YouTube, this link to this website will be down in the will be in the description down below. Talking English is difficult today. Research, of course, we need to do our research. It's very easy to do that in this day and age. We can simple type things in Google, Wikipedia, but do not underestimate your local library. They have almost every time a copy of your book, of the book, of the story in mind. The use of items and characters from the source material. Aladdin has his lamp, Snow White has the apple and the mirror, Red Riding Hood has grandma and the wolf. Something that is important to bring the. Sometimes it is important to bring those recognizing things back to your story, so that you can, so that people also know that it is a retelling. All right, a little, and I mean a very little. There we go. Diagram of the most retold stories in young adults. Beauty and the Beast seems very popular. Uh, Little Red Riding Hood is very popular, but so is Snow White. But I see here Frankenstein, Jane Austen. Those, of course, are classics. And then we have Shakespeare, myth, um, Cupid and Psyche. Can you also link to the one back to the Beauty and the Beast one? Uh, because yeah, it's a little bit of a retelling of Beauty and the Beast. Can you also link to the retelling of Cupid and Psyche? It follows the same plot beats. Asian myth, North and Egyptian. What I would like to see is more Asian and more Egyptian like styles. Maybe also a little bit Norse, and maybe also some African myth in YA. That would be a nice one. But yeah, you have resources, books. There are a lot of retellings on the market today. You can buy this, borrow this, or listen to them through ebook. Uh, for example, listener, which is, I believe, Steampunk, the son of Achilles, again, Chef Kiss. I will highly recommend you guys give it a read. It was a good one. The School of Good and Evil. Reds Alphas. I will not recommend that if you read that at work, because it is not safe for work. The Stolen Kingdom series of Bethany Arasada. I read the Song of Achilles, The School of Good and Evil, Reds Alphas, and I'm almost through the Enchanted Crown. So the last one. That of course are not the only books I have in my possession that are retelling. I have also from a writer with audience is with fan base. It's very high on the It is not a retelling bandwagon, so I'm not going to share her book. But another famous retelling is a retelling of this series. Yes, I have a copy of Twilight. I never read it. Most can be said of most books that currently are residing in my cabinet. But yeah, we all know the famous 50 Shades of Grey series, and this is a retelling. Hello, Jacob. Welcome to my retellings and how to write them. If you missed the first half, no worries, there will be a VOD on the Twitch and on YouTube later. Resources. There is of course internet, YouTube, Wikipedia, Google. Well, don't read this one because it is a retelling. Christian is Edward, Anna is Bella, and the setting is changed. She fought off the serial numbers. She was very smart, was a bestseller, and actually the book, the first few movies were good. But yeah. For YouTube, what I would recommend if you don't want to go in your favorite fairy tale or do not want to do all the research, I will recommend you do the research. Is John Solo? I will copy paste that in the chat. John Solo dives in Disney Explained and Mythology Explained. He goes with a little bit deeper into the source material. He even finds out where the story comes from. Like what I've learned is that Cinderella has traveled all over the place, all over the globe. At least the story beats of Cinderella. There are stories similar to that found in Egypt, Persia, China, Japan, even a few on the Polynesian scope. So Polynesian myth. There are some stories about Cinderella. That's how far traveled that story goes. So yeah, orally. But yeah, it is easy to find these ones. Again, if you are watching this on YouTube, the link to his channel I will link down below. I will highly recommend it if you are going for a research. Alright, we are going to do a little exercise, and I am going off screen again for this exercise, otherwise you will not able to see the full extent. If you are not seeing this before the time frame, do not worry. It's still a little exercise I will put up. The prompt is the main character has graduated from fairy godmother slash father school. Her or his charge is the future Lady Tremaine. If you don't know, Cinderella, stepmother. Word count 500 words or more. Needs to be a fairy about a fairy godmother slash father. It can be a summary of a story. I'm not going to link you all the way down to write out this full story. Sometimes only the summary comes to mind. Time frame until the 2 September 22. Let me correct that. Around midnight, your time zone. What to do with the story when you're done? Share it. Make a World Anvil story or a campfire story. Post it on social media, but on Discord. But show it off. Because your work is important, and it's good to give some readers or some people your point of view. It is sometimes very, very, very nice to see this all. You don't have to DM me with this story. If you are on Discord, post it on social media: Facebook, Blue Cloud, Twitter, Instagram. Hell, make it a visual novel. Or maybe turn it in a novel. Make it completely your own. Share it with the world because you deserve to be shared. With that said, it is time for a break. If you have a little bit of questions, please ask me now. And I will answer them. We have a 15-minute break. In this, for the YouTube version, I will cut it out here and make it a part 2. Also, stay well hydrated. Or maybe even start that story. I also will post this on the Discord for on my Discord. Also on the Discord for Game of Thrones. If you are in the Game of Thrones community or want to see it back, I also will share it on a few social media websites like Twitter. No, I'm not on Twitter. On Facebook and on Instagram. I needed to look for that one. So no worries there, you will be able to see it. But let's go back to that. Nope, back to that. And I'm again in the way. Again, if you are not seeing this after the fact, no worries. The same rules apply until only the time frame will be fading away to the background. Alright, what does the time say? Just still 1 more minute. We'll be right back. We'll go right. We go after the to the next stage of the. So, alright. Let me share what I got so far. Show in even a little small piece of text the hints that I talked about. To showcase that this is a Cinderella retelling. Of course, the switch is really annoying. By not giving me more than 500 characters. There we go. So right now we are going over to things you can follow. Here's a quick sip of my drink. Read the original. Well, that can be difficult for some stories reading the original because the original was never being written. It's normal. Some stories started on word of mouth as word of mouth stories, folklore that was shared around the campfire, bedtime stories that people just made up in their minds. Read the earliest draft of this story can help a lot to pinpoint the origin. Um, Some, but I have to warn you, these stories were not meant to entertain us, at least not in that kind of way. They were used to scare people, to scare most of the time children, to tell them a deeper meaning, like stay out of the woods, don't talk to strangers, that kind of thing. And some stories are downright disturbing. Just keep that in mind. But yeah, um, what you can do with this example is from Disney's Beauty and the Beast, which has an origin in also in Greek myth, like what I said earlier, with Psyche and Cupid, or Psyche and Eros. That was the Greek name. Uh, the story shows a very much similarity, so be aware that you also can draft off that one. Which I did. I drafted a bit of both into my White Raven story. Did I read the original? I did read the original. Make a list of characters. Make the list of characters that are represented in most of the stories. I'm again showing Beauty and the Beast. In Beauty and the Beast, it is the father, Belle herself, the Beast, and Gaston. I don't know why I said it on the French, but I did. Alright, in Eros and Psyche, it's the king, aka the father of Belle. Psyche is Belle. Eros is the beast, and in the original, they are two sisters. Instead of Gaston. But they played a little bit the same role in that story. In my story, I'm going indeed to go show a little bit of what I did. The father, that will not say much because it is the father. Raven, Nox, the half sisters, and Leonidas as the various characters. Make a list of setting, hidden place slash palace slash place, library, home, village. Nothing too fancy. And come up with the real plot twist. Beauty and the Beast uses an actual beast instead of just a figurative beast of a man or woman. And made Bao in the bookworm we know her to be today. But you can also come up with a gender role switch. You can make the main character, like maybe Red Riding Hood, being a hunter of wolves instead of the helpless little girl that she is portrayed to be. We have seen this in the I don't know if it's the latest one, in one of Hansel and Gretel movie, that they became witch hunters. So yeah, you can make it your own twist. Let's go over to my own experience. I have written a few. A few retellings. I am also planning to write more retellings. This will be a project I will do with another writer. And that involves 12 books and some Disney princesses that are not from Disney, because we are also moving away from Disney. But yeah, I wrote Nova Babylon, Hysteria, Black Swan, Brothers in Crime, Flaming Arrow, which is part 2 of Nova Babylon and White Raven. Nova Babylon and Flaming Arrow are Robin Hood in space with a gender switch book. The Hysteria is the Flying Dutchman, a very loose retelling of the Flying Dutchman. Black Swan, Swan Lake, and Brothers in Crime is an Jekyll and Hyde kind of story. And I believe that will conclude to our last point of the day. Are there some questions right now for that people have come up with during my simple presentation? It's time to ask them now. Alright, that's it. If there are more questions and you want to ask them, if you are on YouTube, place the questions down in the script in the comments below. If you are on this in my Discord, you can ask the questions on Discord or when you see me pop up in Twitch. And that was it. Do not forget to place those stories into the social medias because I will highly want to see them what you came up with. And I wish you all a very